What kind of support do manufacturers need from brands, policymakers, and industry platforms to strengthen worker well-being and upskilling programs? And where can public-private partnership play a more effective role? So, if you just share your perspective.
Thank you. Yeah, of course, we all are stakeholders in terms of government, in terms of brands, manufacturers, everybody, and we all have certain roles to play. If I start from the government, first of all, I would like to say that it's about the laws, the regulations of the country, because if it's not stable, then it's difficult to run factories, and ultimately it affects the supply chain, the customers gets affected, and the whole supply chain is disrupted. So it has to be ensured. Secondly, it has to be energy, because as we move on to automation, that means more energy is required and sustainable energy as well at the same time. So if that is not ensured, then ultimately the supply chain is disrupted and we fail to go forward towards just transition. And from the government perspective, I would like to also add that financial transparency and access to funds, because this is very connected with the brands. I'll tell you why, because we have manufacturers. Unfortunately, some of them are not as good as the others, and there are manufacturers we've seen previously, they take bank loans, and if they don't pay up, then we don't work in a level playing field. So my cost of fund is more than somebody else's who doesn't pay up the bank's interest. So that's why when we are sitting with the customers for the same product, he or she can offer $1 less for the same product, and the brands take advantage of that, and I cannot complain on that, because this is how the world works. So that's why the financial transparency is of utmost importance in Bangladesh. So that regulatory the policy has to be taken place in very strongly. And then I come to the brands. Of course, the brands are there, we work like partners together, and they also have their roles to play, because brands have their team, their technologists, and they also work on the prices. So they know what the right price is. We don't ask for a very good price, very high price. We would like to ask for the right price. And this is where the partnership comes in. Because otherwise, if only the brands make money and the manufacturers don't, at the end of the day, we lose. Because it's a win-lose situation, and it is not sustainable. It has to be a win-win situation. When the manufacturer wins, the workers win. So this is what we have to ensure. We have to remember that workers are the heart, and we cannot ignore them. But unfortunately, we've seen that just because of our own interest, from all the stakeholders, we miss out on them. And then, of course, brands have to be patient, and also at the same time, there needs to be a lot of things in terms of training and upskilling, because training, there is no alternative to training. And I've been hearing, of course, it is a reality that in the blue-collar workforce, women representation has been reduced. Now it's 53%. But what is the brighter side? If you see in Bangladesh, the white-collar in women job has increased. So the shift is on the other side. So more and more women are getting educated, they're getting into the job field. So you go to offices, you go to multinational organizations, you see more and more women. So isn't that a great success? I believe so. I think it is. And we cannot deny on that. And in terms of other suggestions, I would like to say we've seen Accord doing a very good job, and it was a cornerstone in the initial setup. But it took to the next level when RSC was formed. Why? Because in RSC we had both manufacturers, we had worker unions, at the same time we have brands. So when all three parties collaborate together, we get a better result. So there needs to be more and more of conversations. We need to have dialogues, because if two of the three stakeholders are working together, we don't get the result. All of them have to be equally participating only to give us the best result. So this is all I want to say. Thank you.